Okay, so this particular session is related with the MIC activities and schemes, right? MIC is Ministry of Education's Innovation Council, right? And इसके अंदर जितने भी स्कीम्स हैं और जितने भी बेनिफिशियल कहना चाहिए हमें प्रोग्राम्स चल रहे हैं फॉर स्टूडेंट्स, उसके बारे में पूरा सेशन है दैट इज गिवन बाय डॉक्टर 𝐓𝐍𝐶, राइट? एंड वी आर सपोज टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल द स्कीम्स एंड द प्रोग्राम्स व्हिच आर अंडरगोइंग थ्रू MOE सेल ऑफ मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन, राइट? उसके बारे में पूरा सेशन है, हमें समझना है, उसको सुनना है, 1 घंटे का है ये पूरा, राइट? एंड दिस इज द एक्टिविटी ऑफ IIC, इंस्टीट्यूशंस इनोवेशन काउंसिल सेल। हर कॉलेज इंस्टीट्यूट का एक IIC सेल है, ठीक है, AICT के थ्रू, जहाँ पे रजिस्टर्ड है इंस्टीट्यूट्स। तो हमारा इंस्टीट्यूट भी रजिस्टर्ड है, पहले शैलेश सर उसको हैंडल कर रहे थे एंड राइट नाउ वी आर हैविंग 2 स्टार्स परफॉर्मेंस। 9000 इंस्टीट्यूट ऐसे हैं जिनका एक भी स्टार अभी तक नहीं आ पाया है, राइट? सो वी आर कंडक्टिंग वेरियस एक्टिविटीज अंडर दिस IIC सेल and this is one of those activities which is based on MIC driven activity, right? So we are here to understand and listen this whole video given by Dr. 𝐓𝐍𝐶 regarding MIC programs and schemes. All right, so we are going to start with the session.
I welcome Dr. 𝐓𝐍𝐶, Vice Chairman AICT and Chief Innovation Officer, Ministry of Education's Innovation Cell, for this live session for discussing about all MIC programs and schemes with the IIC institutes, faculty members and students who have joined here on YouTube. I welcome all of you, all the faculty members and students also. This is our first session by Honorable Vice Chairman AICT for all the institutions to discuss about the different schemes of AICT and Innovation Cell on innovation and entrepreneurship, including IIC, Kapila and our different schemes. Before I hand it over to Sir, I would like to appreciate a very good response from the institutions, especially about for the participation in the boot camps, the innovation design and entrepreneurship boot camps of AICT, where we got very good response from the institute for hosting the boot camps. And also the participation of the students. At some places we have to narrow down to 1/10 of the number of students for selection, and we will keep continuing the boot camps in future. Another very important thing is that we also received a very good response and overwhelming response, in fact, for Smart India Hackathon 2024. Of course, Honorable VCM sir will discuss a few details on Smart India Hackathon and the overall objective of going ahead also. But we had record-break internal hackathons this year, which has crossed more than 2,200 internal hackathons, and I think this is serving the purpose of the open innovation model. With this introduction, I invite sir to address the faculty members and the students who have joined on YouTube. Honorable VCM sir.
Thank you, Yogesh. Really appreciate. Pradeep, Deepan, Ankush, Selva, Abhishek. My team here has also joined. And I am told that around 500 institutions have joined and more are expected to join soon. Anyway, we have large number of IICs. The actual number is more than 14,000. So we expect all of them to eventually see this video. But what we believe or what we wish to convey through this session is that the innovation ecosystem, which we are all dreaming of creating in our educational institutions, has now started bearing fruits, and the kind of outcome which we are getting from this entire movement is really appreciable. Dear friends, we started working on this innovation movement in a very systematic fashion in 2018. Before that, we had 2 editions of Smart India Hackathon, but it was just an event. However, when we looked at the response and outcome of Hackathon, we realized that we need to take a far more systematic approach pushing innovation and entrepreneurship culture in our institutions. And that was the reason this innovation cell was created by Ministry of Education at 𝐴𝐼𝐍𝐵. And since then, we have launched large number of programs, large number of initiatives to help institutions realize that this is a very, very important activity. And it cannot be just a co-curricular activity, but more of an academic activity, because innovation and entrepreneurship should become integral part of our academics. Because we have to emerge as problem solvers. Our technical students, our technical institutions need to emerge as fountainhead of ideas. And when we are talking about ideas, we are talking about solving problems. And not just for this country, but for the world. Because now we have to give ideas to the world. We just cannot be consumers of technologies, services and ideas. We have to actually put it out where the entire world thinks that ideas coming from India are really useful and can create or can disrupt the entire sector. So this is what we are working on, and I'm really, really thankful to the institutions who have supported our vision, who have participated in real right spirit. And for that perspective, I would really like to thank my entire hackathon team, my IIC team. Deepan is here, Selva, Ankush, Abhishek are here, because for last 4 years, they were driving this activity. Okay? To be very honest with you, friends, when we conceptualized this entire IIC activity, we were also not sure that what we will do, what will be right, where we will fumble, because no model exists globally. Okay? This is the model which we have derived. Because when we are saying others should innovate, we internally also need to innovate. And when we internally started brainstorming on how we can handhold and support our institutions, then we felt that we should come up with some kind of a ready reckoner or some kind of a guiding map, which we should give it to our institutions. And if our institutions follow that ready reckoner or that map or that schedule very judiciously, then we will ensure that that innovation, a vibrant ecosystem, innovation ecosystem will get established within our educational institution. Dear friends, when we started first year, we had a very different kind of ready reckoner or a calendar. But over a period of time, we have learned from our mistakes. We have also received a lot of inputs from our institutions. And even this year, I have asked Deepan and Yogesh specifically to have a very dedicated brainstorming session before deciding IIC calendar for the forthcoming year. Because we want to listen to you. We want to learn from your experiences. Because you are our on-ground change agents. And sometimes it can happen that we may sit in ivory tower, think something, that it may work and it may not work on ground. Okay? Deepan is continuously in touch with the stakeholders. I know that. So we also try to get pulse. But if we do this activity now very systematically, where we have a one-day good brainstorming session, what works, what doesn't work, how we can further improvise on some of the activity, then it will be a really good effort. So I have already directed my team in that regard, and my team is sincerely working from that perspective. So soon they will reach out to you, not all of you, but some of you. Okay? and they will call you, please prepare your notes, please give your inputs. Some of the inputs will be taken, some may be accepted, some may not be accepted. It is always part of it. Because when we are looking at these aspects, we look at it from a national perspective. Okay? So we have to go from micro to macro. Some things work at micro level, some things work at macro level. So we have to combine what works at both the levels and come up with the new. And that's what we will be doing. But dear friends, I know some of the IICs are doing excellent. They are actually scoring 3 stars and 4 stars. There are a large number of these institutions. And our expectations from these institutions are very different than some of the other institutions which are just scoring 1 star and 2 stars. Because please understand, friends, if an IIC is doing really well, as I said, 3 star and 4 star, then we expect them to be far more aggressive when it comes to innovation and entrepreneurship. We want more and more ideas out of that. And people is always telling us, sir, we have to make these stars or very, very competitive. Not only competitive, we have to actually make colleges strive for it. Actually do a lot of hard work for it. They should not be easily available. And I am going with what his point is. That initially for the first 2 years, it was much more easy for you to gain these stars. Because we were also learning and we were also knowing that by initially we have to do a lot of sensitization so that you start walking on that track. And you did it. And as a result of which you earned 3 stars or 4 stars very easily. But now moving forward, the things are going to be tough because we want to now see a very concrete outcome from it. And we have already started seeing that. If you really recently look into the report about IIC activities done by our one of the very prestigious organizations like IIT Delhi Management School, they have said that we have more than 6,000 students and faculty startups within our different organizations. But whether this 6,000 startup is the right number or is a number which does justice to our potential, to be honest, no. Because currently, at the end of the day, we have more than 1 crore students at any given time point in technical sector or in technical education. So if 1 crore students are there at any given time, then just 6,000 is still a very minuscule number. We need to increase that number. Okay? But I will be very happy to share with you that valuation of these 6,000 plus startups is somewhere around 15,000 crore, 16,000 crore. So it means that my young students, 20-year-old, 22-year-old, 23-year-old students have created humongous wealth for this country. Okay? And there is still more potential, and it's a long way to go. So what I will request all my well-performing IICs this year is that give more and more focus on pushing good ideas to evolve as startups, handhold them, support them, so that more and more startups actually get registered, and not only they get registered, but they actually start flourishing. Because at the end of the day, we will consider our program successful if our startups actually excel. They get investor support, they get investors funding. That is going to be the real success. And for that also, because if you have to have good exit, and if you want to see investor support, we have also from our side decided that we will bring investor community for you. I have already asked my team to put details of our investor community on our website. So I will request all of you to look at that community. Identify people who are in your vicinity. Invite them to your institution. Do some sessions of these investors in your institution. What these investors are looking for. When they go for a pitch or when they are looking at a particular pitch, what kind of questions they ask. How we can make our innovators ready to face investors. Because if idea can be great, but if our students are not successful in convincing our investors that this is a great idea, has a great market potential, and can disrupt the entire sector, then no investor is going to actually go ahead and invest in these ideas. So, although, as I said, we are creating an investor network at a central level through AICT, but I will request all my institutions also to create their own investor network. Okay? Because if we have such 1,000 or 2,000 investor networks associated with different colleges, I can tell you, in next 2 or 3 years, you will start seeing great startups with very high valuation coming out of your institutions. And it will push our students to take up entrepreneurship as a career. Because usually what happens, my dear friends, is the proof of pudding is in eating, Means what? You have to show the examples to students. Just by talking, just by saying that, okay, become an entrepreneur. Students are not going to go on that track. But if students, youngsters will start seeing the success stories, then it will be far more motivating for them. Okay, so we have to, every college has to create its success story, 2, 3, 5 success stories which are there, and present them very effectively to their youngsters. Because even college can generate wealth also. Because when you are going to support a startup, you can have some equity in those startups. If that startup actually becomes successful, not only that startup is going to generate wealth, your institution is also going to generate wealth for yourself. The faculty members which are associated with that startup, they are going to also generate wealth for themselves. Because at the end of the day, we need to create more and more wealth for this country. Because our ultimate goal is to go or to build India into $15 trillion, $20 trillion economy. Currently, we are at $4 trillion. Already, Prime Minister has given us a target of $5 trillion by 2026. We are going to certainly achieve that because we have already reached 4. Honorable Prime Minister gave us the target when we were 3 trillion. We have already crossed. US is 30 trillion. China is 16 trillion. So our goals are set. And with this dream of Vikasit Bharat by 2047, we have to think of our economy as 20 trillion, $25 trillion. So, if we have to grow our economy, maybe 4 times or 5 times, then who are going to generate that wealth? Our youngsters are going to generate that wealth for this country. And who are these youngsters? The best of the brains are in our technical institutions. So you, as institutions, are holding or are, what we can say, nurturing these young bright brains. And I don't care about whether it's a NRF 200, top 100 institution or top 50 institution or IITs or NITs. Because what I have realized in my last 8-10 years of interaction in technical institutions is that even if you go to worst of the institution, 10 to 15% of the students are really bright and best. Ideas can come from anywhere. We have to have just that ecosystem or that mindset to actually capture those ideas and convert those ideas into wealth. So don't some of the institutions which might have joined today might not be really top tier institutions, and they will feel कि okay, हमको क्या इसमें करना है, what we should do. You know, all these things are for real elite institutions, IITs, NITs, or top NRF funded institutions. No, if you are thinking on that line, then you are completely wrong. Because I can tell you, ideas can come from anywhere. We have to be just vigilant, and we need to be sensitive. And if you are sensitive, then there are enough ecosystem enablers out there which can guide you, help you, support you in taking these ideas forward. Okay? And we are also very sensitive towards it. And that is the reason we are very, very keen on ensuring that some of our non-functional IICs also should join this movement. Because what we have realized is that we can bucket our IICs into 3 different buckets. One bucket which has about 3,000-4,000 IICs which are really performing very well. Then there is another large bucket where IICs are doing moderate. Okay, they are doing some work, but not to the expectations which we have. But there is also, we have a bucket, and it's also quite a large bucket, where institutions have registered their IICs, but they are not responding or they are not performing to our expectations. Okay, and we want them to start this journey as early as possible. Because once you will start this journey, you will realize that it's a no cost or a very low cost kind of an exercise. You don't have to invest a lot of money. Because many times when I am talking to large number of institutions, they say, sir, if you have to promote innovation and entrepreneurship, we will require a large amount of funding. No, my dear friends, you don't require many times funding. As I said, it's a low cost, no cost kind of an activity. Okay? And if you require some kind of a funding, there could be a lot of innovative ways to actually raise those kind of funding. Because when we are talking about entrepreneurship, it means we are talking about some kind of a business. If a business is good, if it is going to be viable, if it is going to be generate money, there are a large number of people out there in the market who are ready to invest. What you really need to do is use the IIC forum to connect with right kind of people. Okay? Because earlier there was no place for you or no activity or forum for you to go and approach an investor. But now, this IIC gives you that opportunity. You can always tell the investor community that we are establishing an institutional innovation council. And when we are talking about innovations, we want our investors to guide us, invite them. Okay, because investors are looking for opportunities, they will not even charge you for invitation. They will come by themselves. Okay, they will guide your student, arrange their couple of lectures. Okay, or what you can do is, for example, I will tell you, as a part of IIC activity, how you can use your own students to solve the challenges of your own institution. Okay, when you are running an institution, you have a lot of administrative related problems, you have a lot of logistic related problems, you have a lot of academic related problems. Now, can you actually throw these challenges to your students, saying that, can you come up with some kind of solutions which can help us solve these problems? And I can tell you, you will like some of the solutions which students have actually proposed. It will not only give push to ideation in your institution, but it may actually help you in reducing your current cost structure also. Your operational cost structure may go down. For example, can you give your civil students or environmental students a challenge, or an electrical engineering student a challenge that I want to reduce electricity bill by institution by 20% or 25%. Can you come up with some kind of a strategy? Or we would like to handle our waste in a particular way or water in a particular way. can you come up with some kind of a strategy? What I have started realizing is that our institutions can be enough ground or enough, they can themselves give enough opportunities for our students for doing large number of innovative projects and internships. But unfortunately, the students within these institutes are looking for internships outside in some companies, and where they actually go and don't do any work. But they can be problem solvers of our institutions. But unfortunately, our institutions are not utilizing them. That will actually help them improve their employability. And these activities which I am talking about, of doing idea challenges, doing some kind of an online workshops, okay, can be part of your IIC activity. For example, it is very easy for all my non-functional IICs to do a workshop on design thinking. Large number of online videos are available. You have to just structure one day and put some good videos. And if you want, I can tell my team, and my team can actually create a battery of 8-10 videos, okay, which you can actually make students sit down and just show them as a part of one-day workshop. No cost. Okay? Because if you say we don't have money, we can help you find how we can actually somewhere or what we can say circumvent that. Okay? Same thing is related to IPR. Okay? We already have several courses on it. But apart from that, if that course is not currently running at that time, but my team can actually put again a 5-10 videos which curated, and you can do an internal workshop on IPR for your students. Okay, as I said, these two things are very, very essential and important, because you need to sensitize your students what IPR is. You need to sensitize your students on how to think, how to solve a problem, how to visualize a solution for a particular problem. And there is no better way of visualizing a solution for a problem other than design thinking. So ask your students to do design thinking, and as I said, it hardly requires. Then do an idea challenge. Again, idea challenge, if you can go outside and solve some problems, that will be great. But if you cannot solve, at least solve your own institution problems. Okay? Engage your students. Tell them that let's think today, all of us will be there. Let's think wide. Let's solve the problems, how we can make our institute better. Okay? And if you really look at, you will get 10, at least 15, 20 problems from our whole institute. For example, can you build your own ERP system? Can you build your own hostel management system? Can you build your own mess management system? And many other things. Okay? Your own learning management system. Because now everyone is going online. Why you have to buy something? Okay? Ask your students to build it and create a right kind of mechanism that once student in final year leaves, somebody replaces and the product gets maintained. These kind of, if we have a different approach. So what I want to convey through this is that we have to change our mindset. We have to change our outlook when we will be looking at some of these things. And then only we will be actually can give push to innovation and entrepreneurship. Also, I think in majority of the settings now, you have an incubation center. Okay? Because if I have to, and please correct me if I am wrong, okay, more than registered that way, 1100 plus incubators are there, but at least 400 are functional incubators out there, which are good. Okay, and they have received either some funding from DSP or DPP or MSME or some kind of an organization. They have received funding. Take your students, maybe as a half-day visit or a field visit, to these incubators. Arrange their interaction with some of the startups which is there. and it is going to be within your city. And if it is going to be within your town or city or in vicinity, okay, hardly any money is required for that. But if you can interact with some of these startups, if you really look at some of these incubators, okay, then you will develop a relationship with them. And then, if you have good ideas, if some of the students have good ideas, then you can easily connect with that incubator. And then professionals in that incubator can guide your students accordingly. Because to be very honest with you, every college doesn't need to have an incubator. Because some of the incubators which are already there, they are empty in a sense, So there is enough space available there. What you really need to do is to create that kind of linkage with that incubator, so that some of your initial 5-10 ideas can get incubated in that incubator. And once you have good pipeline of ideas, then you can think of even starting your own incubator, because then that could be a revenue. Okay. But we at national level also, we believe that we have to work with these incubators. And that is the reason all our programs which we are actually funding, which we are, where we are looking at ideas, where we are shortlisting ideas, we are funding everything through incubators. And we are trying to onboard incubators on most of our programs. And now we are actually going to create a formal network of incubators associated with IICs. And we will share that information with you soon. We are in discussions with the right stakeholders. Okay? But what I wanted to convey today is that you have to take advantage of some of these things which you are doing. For example, I don't know how many of my institutions which are currently joined have submitted ideas for you. Now we are actually coming up with a large number of what we can say deliverables, or works, or what we can offerings. Offerings is the right word for Yukti platform. Because we also internally believe, we spoke to, as I said, we spoke to a large number of stakeholders, and we realized that many times colleges are saying that we have submitted an idea on Yukti, but currently we have more than 1.5 lakh ideas or so. But once submitted, there is nothing much happening there. Although internally, I would like to tell you what we do is that we actually identify ideas or solutions which are TRL 4 and above, okay, technology readiness 4 and above, and we have a Yukti competition also. Okay, we evaluate those ideas at different rounds. About 4-5 rounds of evaluation is done, and eventually we end up funding ideas. And Selva, this time correct me, again 123 ideas which we have funded, right? 130, it's more than what I said. So 130 ideas we are actually funding. So please don't misunderstand that nothing is happening, okay? But now we are asking ourselves that what we can offer to the remaining ideas which are not getting selected. And we are coming up with some kind of a mechanism. Having said this, I will request all of you, okay, to go back to you. If they have to make some modifications, do those modifications. Because what we have realized also, that when we are looking at it, some people claim that it is TRL 4 level, but it is actually a TRL 2. So please get into that kind of an understanding. There is a small document which is there, and we have put it on you. What TRL means, what TRL 1 means, what TRL 2 means, what TRL 8, it is there. So please look at it very appropriately. And then some. Also, what you can do is that maybe 5 or 10 colleges within your vicinity, okay, can come together, join hands, and actually organize your own Yukti challenge. You don't have to wait for us, okay? And it can happen that once you once the colleges in vicinity start competing with themselves, the energy which students will, because there are all these regional competitions which are happening. Okay? For that, if you want to use our logo, you can always ask us for the permission. With due approvals, we may be able to give you that permission. But start boosting all these local meets, where you can look at your own submissions. Actually look and compete and brainstorm on how you can collaborate on some of this. Because a lot of collaboration can happen. Okay? Some institution would be good in hardware. Some institution would be good at software. Some institution can come with a good domain knowledge. For example, if you are working on something related to fintech or biomedical device, then ideally you should have a hardware. You should have an expert in hardware or a person who understands hardware. Then you will require a person who understands software. But more importantly, you will also require a person who understands physiology or biology, maybe a doctor, okay, depending upon what kind of instrument you are looking at. So, it can actually give you an opportunity to collaborate with 2 or 3 institutions if you are looking at biomedical. You can go approach, talk to medical college nearby. Okay, collaborate with them. Similarly, if you are doing for fintech, maybe a management or an account of commerce college, would be a good stakeholder. And this experiment was actually done in India's Stanford Biodesign program. It was conceptualized by Stanford, IIT Delhi, and 𝐴IMS. It's a very good paper, and large number of good ideas came out of it. Not just ideas, products came out of it. And what they did was that they told IIT Delhi students that they have to go for a couple of days in 𝐴IMS Delhi and just observe the functioning of 𝐴IMS Delhi and just note down the problems which 𝐴IMS Delhi is facing, for a particular process. You should look at this Stanford India Biodesign program. What IIT Delhi students did, they went there, they were sitting there for 2 days and they were noting down the problems or challenges which 𝐴IMS was facing. And on those challenges, they eventually did idea competition. And then they end up devising, I think 30 or 40 low-cost devices came out of it, which are currently in market. You should look at that program, the fantastic program. What stops us from emulating that? Many of the institutions which might have joined, their management might have a medical institution or a medical college within the same organization or the same management, or maybe some other management in vicinity, or an Ayurvedic institute in vicinity, or an homeopathic institute in vicinity. What you should do? You should reach out. You should talk to them. You should actually collaborate with them and explore how you can innovate. And I will tell you, for all these things, you don't require them. You have to have that just a mindset, open mindset of going out and talking, going out and discussing. Because, my dear friends, please understand, now the innovation is going to happen at the interface of 2 or 3 different domains. So there is no option for you other than going out, talking to people, talking to different kind of people, understanding what is their problem, then actually humanizing with that problem. And I will assure you, lot of great solutions can come out of it. This is one. Second thing is that if there are some small institutions, small colleges, maybe within towns, maybe within, because now we have in IICs in villages also. Can you help the local administrative bodies, like Nagar Palika, or their local, as I said, or panchayat, these kind of, to build their systems. Because there also you require a lot of technology. Now, for example, if you have a civil branch, can you actually build a sewage map for the entire village? Conceptualize it. There are a lot of things which could be done at local level. And now we as AIC are approving those as internships. So you can get actually certificate for some of the work which you are doing. We are going to accept them as internships. Because as AIC, we are giving huge push for experiential learning. And these kind of experiential learnings, when you will go out on the field, actually start working, a lot of innovative ideas will come. A lot of new technologies will get developed, a lot of new products will get developed. And once you have those products, you will think of how I can convert these products into something where I can sell them, or I can go to other institutions, market them, and earn wealth out of them. Okay? So when we are looking at, from an AICT perspective or an MIC perspective, at innovation and entrepreneurship, we are very, very sensitive about what needs to be done for this sector. And we want all of you to be the stakeholders in our mission. We don't want to be at the other side of the table and just order you that do this or do that. But we want to take journey along with you. We want to hold hands with you. Because we are also learning. You are also learning. So don't worry if you make mistakes. We are not going to penalize you for any of these things. Okay? We will actually guide you. So whenever my team is doing any kind of sessions, okay, please join them in large numbers. Please understand what they are trying to convey. And as rightly said, some of the institutions are responding so well to what we are saying. We are really very proud. And the best example with Yogesh gave right now was of internal hackathon. I have IICs in around 14,000 institutions right now. But my internal hackathons was done by 2,000 plus organizations. Okay, 2,100 or 2,200 organizations. Okay, it means that and in 2,000 institutions, my ecosystem is very, very vibrant. Now, if you have to survive, others have to survive. There is no way for others than to adopt this kind of system. Because 2,000 is itself a large number. Okay? And if these kind of activities are going to get used by these institutions to market themselves and attract best of the brains to their institute, then other institutes cannot afford to remain behind. Because at the end of the day, if you have to survive in this competitive market of technical education, then you also need to be innovative. And currently, when it comes to this technical education market, majority of the good institutions are focusing on innovation and entrepreneurship. The days are gone now, where a college used to market itself saying that 100% placement. They do that. Certainly, even some of the colleges do that. But apart from that, they also said that we have filed so many patents. We have so many investors associated with us. So they market on one side their employment, what we can say, successes or achievements, but more importantly, they also market that they have so many successful startups incubated by students. They have so many patents now and trying to commercialize those patents or take technologies forward or do technology transfers. And as I said, we are sensitive towards all of this, and for that, these technology transfers, the patent filing, we have very, very specific schemes. Now, at AICT, we have established around 9 innovation centers, and we are going to take that number to 30. But our regional offices which were there, and some of you might be really aware of where our regional offices were, in Chennai, in Hyderabad, in Bangalore, Ahmedabad we have, where regional office is not there, but still we have an innovation center, Bhopal, Kanpur, Chandigarh, we have Guwahati, Kolkata, we have our offices there, we have our infrastructure, we have converted them into innovation centers. And at these innovation centers, we are keen on hand-holding our institutions in that region for technology transfer and for IPR. Okay? So if you have good technologies, or if you think that you require help in doing an ideation program, in doing design thinking program, in doing IPR related program, you should get in touch with some of these incubation or our innovation centers. I was told that these innovation sectors have already started their meets at small level, but each innovation center has done multiple meetings, okay? And cumulatively, we have reached somewhere around 4,000 institutions or more. 4,000 institutions or more, we have already reached out, okay? But once reaching is not, we have to convert it into a relationship, okay? That continuous engagement has to happen, okay? And for that, I will request you to use our innovation institutions or innovation centers as much as possible. Go and trouble those people, okay? Interact with them, tell us, push them to guide you, because it is their job to guide you, okay? Tell them that we would like to do these IIC activities. Please guide us, please handhold us, please support us. And if they don't, then you can also reach out to us saying that Baba, we are not getting the appropriate support and we will try doing them. Okay, I also understand, my dear friends, and please, you also need to understand that we also have limited manpower. Okay, so we are a team of about 15-20 people here, and we have 15,000 institutions around us which we have to take care. So each person is taking care of about 1,000 plus institutions. So it's not going to be that easy, but yes, we all acknowledge that we need to come together and we need to do our best. Okay. So from that perspective, you have to look at innovation. But apart from that, we have a very, very interesting program called Kapila, where we are actually funding or reimbursing the funds which you have used for IP filing. Okay? And for one IP file, all the government charges which are there, we are reimbursing those government charges. Okay? So use that opportunity, because if some of you want to go for NAC accreditation or for MBA accreditation, then you will require what kind of funds you have received from some of the government agencies. And this is a good and easy way for you to actually receive funds from us. We have good budgets, okay? Okay? File the patent and we will reimburse all the government fees which are required for you. So what we are trying to do here is that we are taking a very, very systematic approach, where we want to handhold you, we want to have right policies for you, we have to have right funding programs for you, then we are also working on innovative courses for you. And some of the institutions have actually adopted it also. But each institute may not be able to adopt that, that's fine. But what we believe is that the approach which MIC and AICT is taking towards promoting innovation and entrepreneurship is something which is completely unprecedented. Nowhere globally such kind of a systematic approach is taken, but we will be only successful if you support us. We will be only successful if you join hands with us and actually help us achieve the dream which we are all dreaming of. Because we have to make this country the best country in the world, and we have to ensure that it becomes the developed nation by 2047. So thank you very much. I think it was a huge, big monologue which was there. Even I feel tired. So I know how much tired you must be feeling listening to me. So thanks once again listening to me again. And if you have any questions, I will be more than happy to take those questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for completely elaborating the whole, what you can say, the processes at MIC and what is expected from the institute, which is not only the need of an hour, but which is now very pertinent for the survival of the institutes and also to move on the agenda of further. Yes. So we have questions, sir, which are coming on YouTube. We have around then 1,500 institutes joined. Silva, do we have more questions?
Only have we have joined some comments.
Comments are there. If any questions are there, people are free to. We'll wait for 1 minute or so. Such we do not have any specific questions.
Okay. Okay. So if there are no specific questions, then I am fine. Let's.
Can two IIC jointly organize online sessions?
Absolutely. Go ahead and do it.
Different incubation centers, schemes, innovation centers.
Innovation centers, all innovation centers will have same scheme, but different incubation centers will have different schemes. You have to talk to that incubation center, sign an MOU with that incubation center, and you will get to know what are the schemes. See, I will tell you, if you really look at this incubator ecosystem, they have all the stakeholders with them except great pipeline of ideas. Okay? They have investors, they have mentors, they have good space, they have all the technical facilities which are required. But many times, majority of the incubators are struggling for great pipeline of ideas. And that's where our institutions can actually pitch in. Okay? So, the incubators are also very keen on signing MOUs with different institutions. So, you should actually take that opportunity and sign MOUs and explore how you can push ideas from your institution into those incubators.
So there is an attached question on incubation, like why incubation centers take different equity and what we should do after incubation.
Yeah. So, see, every incubator will have a different policy. Okay? Some incubators are just on rental basis where you pay rent and they don't ask for equity. Some incubators, they say that we don't want any kind of rent because they realize that large number of startups don't have upfront money for paying. So they say, we will help, we will handle you, we will support you, and then in return, we will take equity. They can ask for 2%, 5%, 8% equity, depending upon the kind of facilities they actually provide to that startup. Okay? And majority of the incubators which I have seen, they are not very non-reasonable. They are a bit reasonable. And you have always ability to negotiate. Okay? So what you should do, you should hire someone who can help, or you should have someone in your team or in your college who can help you negotiate with these incubators on right terms and conditions. And if the incubator is ready to support you, maybe for 2 years or 3 years before taking an exit, and in return if they are asking for some kind of an increase, it's a fair deal. Okay, it's a fair deal because you are also there to do business. Incubators also need to sustain, because if they don't take any money, either in terms of equity or in terms of rent or in terms of other services they provide, then how they are going to survive? Okay, so it has to be a model where everyone or every stakeholder survives. So don't get discouraged that an incubator is taking an equity. It's okay. If they are giving you good facilities, they should take equity, but that has to be reasonable. And for ensuring that it is reasonable, okay, you have to have a right negotiator who can go and talk and discuss. And as I said, there are a large number of incubators, multiple incubators out there. If you go to a normal tier 2 city also, you will have at least 4 or 5 incubators in that city. Okay, you can always negotiate. There is always competition between different incubators. Okay, एक को नहीं अच्छा लगा तो दूसरे से बात करके देखें.
Student of management, who the student of management can take benefit of innovation service.
Again, very good opportunity for management, because if you are doing your MBA, okay, you are either you are joining the startup or the innovation activity with some kind of a, if you have your own IP, you may not have as MBA a technology. I certainly understand that, but if you are collaborating with some technical team who has technology, okay, and part of the team, because see, when we are looking at a startup, it is just not the technical people. We require non-technical people also to actually look at the startup, because it is not just about technology. Many times I will tell you, if the only technology people are there as part of startup, majority of the startups end up failing. Okay, so we are also, when we are talking to startups, when we are talking to technologies, we actually tell them that they should have right kind of people who can help them make right decisions. And MBA people could be actually part of these startups, join these startups. And if you are part of that team, yeah, you are like other people for us, and you can take help of our innovation center. Because it is, as I said, it is much beyond IP and tech trust. We want to support as many startup and entrepreneurship related activities as possible. And large number of now MBA colleges have their own incubators also. Yeah.
How much fees is funded for IPR filing?
5,600. It is 1,600 rupees the patent filing fees and 4,000 for examination. I'll take one more question, Kapila, that where it is available. So the website is kapila.mic.gov.in. There you can reach for, and the website gives us, there is a dedicated helpline number also for Kapila. And very soon you will see on, if you can follow on MIC LinkedIn, tomorrow you will see a detailed poster about Kapila. Again, we will post it for coming back and giving a feedback.
So what I will request my team is that create one poster for each scheme. Okay? Each scheme. What are the current stats associated with that team? And create one poster and start posting it. Okay? So if you are posting tomorrow, if he is ready with Kapila, maybe day after tomorrow you can post about IX. Then you post about you. Then you post about innovation ambassador. Then you post about Smart India, and so on and so forth. Okay. So start posting one. So even if these people, our institution, just download these 4 or 5 posters, they know where to go, what is being offered to them, and what they need to do. Okay. Your poster should actually address these 3 things. Where to contact, what this scheme is about, and what they have to do. देखो ऐसा मैं क्या करूँ इसमें ऐसा that question needs to get answered very clearly.
So 2 more questions are there. One I will answer. So it's about Attorney General and the patent filing. Please get in touch with the respective innovation centers in the region. You can ask question to the IIC coordinator on a Telegram or WhatsApp group, or even through an email, and you will be connected to the innovation center. We have a trained workforce. Also, we have created a community of attorneys who can help the faculty members and students for helping you to draft the patents. And this community is going to be very soon having a large number, which will be more than 500, where we are talking to national law universities also on this. So one interesting question, that surrounding industry is not responding to the issue. I think this was very common scenario before we started IIC. So how, what to do?
Very good. This is a very good question. Our surrounding institution or industry is not responding. So there are 2 or 3 things which you can certainly go ahead and do. Okay, as college, as institutions, or as IICs. So something as IISc you can do, something as an institution or a college you can do. Okay, for example, from this year, we are allowing professor of practice. Okay, so your college can actually go ahead and hire industry experts as professor of practice. This is an old scheme of UGC, but this year we have modified it. Okay, because the old scheme of UGC said that you have to have 15 years of experience in industry and you have to have a PhD and so and so. We said that for some of the latest technologies, you may not get a person who has 15 years of experience. For example, whether you get a person who can have 15 years of experience easily available in blockchain? Maybe no. Okay, it's not possible to have because वो थमता ही नहीं था. Okay, so what we said was that we will have the assistant professor of practice as well as associate professor of practice. And for assistant professor of practice, the experience what we are saying is about 5 or 6 years, 7 years, and for assistant professor, and for associate professor is around 8, 10 years. Okay, so what you should do now, and even PhD is not compulsory. If you have a BTech, we are fine with that. If you have MTech, then also we are fine with it. Because many of the people in industry are either graduates or postgraduates. It's very difficult to find a PhD in industry. Very handful of them. Okay, so now with qualification getting relaxed, you can approach these people to become professor of practice within your organization. Okay, so that will help you start this industry connect. Second initiative, what we have launched, where again you can get industry connect in big way, is through proficiency program or proficient program which we have recently launched. Now here, what we are doing is that we are allowing industry professionals to take credit courses along with normal students. Okay, please understand what we are doing. An industry person can take credit course along with normal student in a college. For example, if somebody wants to take a course in cyber security, and if that institute has BTech computer sciences or BTech computer sciences in bracket maybe a specialization in cyber security, then industry people can actually only sit in third year or a final year course, relevant course. Okay? They need not take other courses which are there for the BTech, because if you really look at first year of BTech, they're all common courses, mathematics and this and that is there. Okay? And only the domain specific or expertise specific courses are at third year, that 1 semester, 2 courses, second semester, 7th semester, 8th semester, you go to have those courses, or 6th semester. You know, professionals can come, industry professionals can come and actually only take courses for those by paying small amount of fee. Okay, so now if you start opening up this, and we are giving 10% currently supernumerary seats, you can use it to actually connect with industry. So that is another second way of engaging with the industry. The third way of engaging with the industry is through IICs. Again, because we are saying that if you want to form a council, then industry experts need to be there on that. Okay, if you really look at the composition of IIC. So invite them as part of the IIC. Once they become part of the IIC, they will get emotionally connected with the institution. And once they are emotionally connected with the institution, they will actually be working on it. Apart from that, we are working on 2-3 more initiatives, okay, where we want faculty members from colleges to work in industry also, okay, and then come back to academics again. But we are working on some of these initiatives currently. The details will be announced soon. Okay, we will release the details, and I can assure you, you will be really happy to have those new initiatives launched from the IIC for boosting industry academia collaboration.
one more interesting question. I'm sure sir would like to address this. Any insights on post-learning innovation in a non-engineering setting?
Non-engineering city or non-engineering college?
Settings. Non-engineering settings.
See, huge. For example, I was talking to some art students, okay, and those were language students. And some of the students in that class were doing MA in Sanskrit or MA in Pali or Prakrit and so and so. And they said, sir, what innovation you expect us to do? I said, there is a lot of market when it comes to digitization, OCRs and those kind of things, script identification, translations. You can build enormous number of tools actually. What you really need to do is collaborate with the right kind of. Please understand, my dear friends, you are domain experts. Then I can tell you, technology is more of a horizontal. Okay? For example, AI or data science, artificial, you can apply it in any sector. Okay, you require AI maybe in aviation, you will require AI in agriculture, you will require AI in biological sciences, you will require AI in maybe sectors like tourism also or other kind of sectors also. Okay, now when you are saying that I will apply AI in aviation, or I will apply AI in communication, or I will apply AI in biomedical, you also require experts in that sector. So those are verticals, So your agriculture becomes a vertical. Your commerce student becomes a vertical. Your art student becomes a vertical. So the intersection of vertical and horizontal has to be there. So what I will request all of you who are from non-technical, you have more capable of doing innovation than some of these technology students, because they know technology, but they don't know where to apply and how to apply, and what problems they can solve by applying that technology. There your role comes in, where you help them identify a problem. You tell them that this is the way you may able to solve it, and collaborate with these technical people, okay, to actually build solutions. You will be actually on the driver's seat, okay, and that is what I am trying to tell my non-technical students. That don't get bogged down by these technical students and by their jargon. At the end of the day, they are just a solution provider. The problem and the solution has to come from you. You have to just think. For example, few days back I was talking to tourism people, and they were doing BA or BBA in tourism. Okay, and they were telling us, sir, what innovation we can do. And I was in Pune talking to them. I told them, can you identify 20 touristic spots in this city? And can you actually think of building a unified solution by collaborating with the one college, where if a tourist from India comes, what he should do and where he should visit. A tourist from some Western world comes, what he should do and where he should visit. Because the expectations, the requirements, all those things could be very, very different for each of the AIs. So I think there are a large number of opportunities. You have to just go out and explore. You have to start talking to them.
There were a few questions on can we have regional mentoring sessions. Yes, of course we can have, and innovation managers at different centers are the best people. The other question, one question was on how much funding Yukti. So there is a limit of 10 lakh when we launch a Yukti National Innovation Challenge. About 10 lakh rupees funding is there. There was one more small question about can you provide us experts for different sessions of IP, technology transfer or design thinking. Definitely you can get in touch with IIC, but definitely it's a huge task to provide experts across India institution. But believe me, I think MIC has this strength now. Many of you, the faculty members from IIC, ambassadors are also experts. But yes, the innovation managers and the IIC zonal coordinators can surely help you with this.
No, I would actually like to reverse the entire model. can we come with some kind of a system where we start getting or we start pulling experts which are suggested by colleges, okay, and actually appreciate their activity for suggesting those experts in our IIC calendar activity or some kind of thing. For example, if one college helps me on board 10 investors, then I may give him some certain kind of different points. Okay, some other college helps me on board 5 investors, then I will rate him differently. Same thing we can do with mentors also. Okay, and if we follow that kind of a strategy, we can start actually pulling the experts from different regions. Okay, and we will reward, maybe non-financially, to these institutions, so that and for that reward they will be able to do some kind of certification, some kind of a felicitation or something like that. Okay, at our regional news. Okay, and if they can help validate the CVs of some of these people, okay, credentials of some of these people, we might able to pull large number of such experts which are there. Okay, see, colleges, every college may not participate because they will say, "Okay, Baba, these are our special experts" or something of that sort. But many times these colleges will say, "Okay, boss, we will actually help and support this ecosystem." Okay, and we will felicitate people who are thinking beyond themselves. Okay, if somebody thinks beyond themselves for the larger good of the entire education sector, we will appreciate them. So we should create that enabling mechanism where we start actually pulling and working on the strengths of these. One. Second thing I would like to appeal here is that AICT has now AICT Connect magazine. Okay? So I will request all of you to actually subscribe to that magazine, look into, and more importantly, write in that magazine. You can use that forum or that magazine to promote your institution. We have a section where we are requesting institutions to write and tell what new they are doing. Okay? And it goes to all the institutions. So use that opportunity also to connect with us. And some of these opportunities we will give you if you support our ecosystem. Okay? So what you can do is that, hey boss, if some institution help us onboard 10 investors, write a small snippet about them in our AICT Connect magazine, and it goes to all institutions. Let's recognize them. Okay.
Wonderful, sir. Definitely we will onboard experts through the process, which actually it's a problem solving tool. One of the tools says that reverse the assumptions. And sir has invited us, all of us, the team at MIC and all of you, to reverse the assumptions, and we will definitely, I think, go ahead on this particular thing. Yeah. So there are no major questions. One question coming again: how to register for Kapila Yukti or Innovation Ambassador Program. My invitation to everyone is to go to the website. Website is quite active and dynamic. For Yukti also there is a separate website, yukti.mic. For Kapila also similar website is there. Innovation Ambassador Program is there on IIC portal.
So another meeting is going to happen. So I have to join another meeting. So let's close this down.
Yeah.
This interaction can continue. To be very honest with you, I just take the credit for the good work. The actual good work is done by my team sitting here. They are my real heroes. So people is also there sitting there. So these people are my real heroes. So do interact with them, get their help and support. And I am very confident that they will do their best to help you and to guide you. So let's close down and thank you very much. It's really appreciated.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks for your time and all the suggestions and guidance to all the institutes. Thanks to all the institutes and faculty members for joining. Thank you, Manka.